Hey guys, it's Zachary from Continued Circuit Breaker Zone, and I still haven't had a haircut, but I've slicked it back just so that today we can talk about the Fitbit Charge 4. The Fitbit Charge 4 is essentially the Fitbit Charge 3 with GPS. When you just look at design, they are almost exactly the same, meaning that with the Charge 4, you get this rectangular main tracking unit and removable and replaceable straps. Now, these straps can be used on both the Charge 3 and the Charge 4, which means your Charge 3 straps can be used on Charge 4 and vice versa. If you went to the Fitbit's website and you tried to order replacement straps, both Charge 3 and Charge 4 straps are the same options. The main tracking unit itself, you get a capacitive touch button on the side, same like the Charge 3, that turns it on and off. That is an OLED black and white screen, left and right to select options and apps. Tap it to go into the app. If there are additional options, swipe up and down to select it. And again, the capacitive touch button on the side goes back to the main menu. So user experience wise and looks, they are exactly the same. If you're coming from a Charge 3, you won't really notice any difference. Okay, so let's talk about battery. Fitbit claims 7 days battery life with the Charge 4, and surprisingly, I've actually exceeded it by now. I've not actually gone out except for the few times to test the band, so it probably affected battery life in that way. I'm not really using the band to its sort of fullest potential, but I have no doubt that you'd get at least 5 days out of this, no problem. So the only thing I find that is a slight annoyance to me is the way, where's my phone? The way that Fitbit sort of tries to save battery. What I find is that the way it connects with the phone is it's not like in real time 24/7. So a lot of time when you turn on the Fitbit app, then it sort of like syncs the data from the band to the phone, and even things like messaging runs through a service, and that service keeps getting like disconnected for some reason. So I often get this error where the notification service has it's not running or has stopped, and you either need to restart the phone or restart the band for it to connect again. So sometimes I find that I'm not getting messages, but I know messages are coming in, and I find that's because the notification service has sort of like hung or something like that. Specs wise, let's go into that. Both the Charge 3 and the Charge 4 have similar sensors. You've got your 3-axis accelerometer, 24/7 heart rate monitor, SpO2, blood oxygen monitor, and all those things are there. And the only difference, as I mentioned, is that the Charge 4 now comes with GPS built in. Now this is actually a very big feature because as far as Fitbit is concerned, this is their first tracker that has built-in GPS. Even their flagship smartwatch model, the Versa 2, which was released last year, doesn't have built-in GPS, and you actually need your phone with you to have connected GPS. The other thing that the Charge 4 has is built-in NFC as a standard feature. If you remember, the Charge 3 had 2 editions, the standard edition and the special edition. Only the special edition came with NFC and to use Fitbit Pay. With the Charge 4, you also have a standard edition and a special edition, but NFC is now a standard feature in both editions. So with the Charge 4, the standard edition is 248 Singapore dollars, and the special edition is 278 Singapore dollars. So what you get for $30 more is an additional strap. So I have it here with me. You get both the standard black strap in 2 sizes, small and large, and you also get the woven strap in small and large for the special editions. But otherwise, there is no other difference to the two models. Do you want to spend another $30 for an extra strap? That's kind of up to you. But if you're just thinking about features, this time the standard edition will give you everything that the Charge 4 has to offer. So how does it actually perform? Well, to be honest, I found that the GPS took a lot longer to lock on than I thought it would. You get this animation icon of it connecting, and it just keeps turning. And I find that this is even on the outside with no buildings around. It takes anywhere between half a minute to a whole minute, or sometimes even more, just to get a GPS lock on. Now, the good thing is that it always locked on. There was never a time that it failed to get a connection, and once it got locked on, it was very solid. It never disconnected on its own, and I was able to track all my runs, and it got all the maps and everything, and it seemed to be accurate enough. The other thing just to take note is that the Charge 4 is able to automatically detect a series of exercises. I think there are 7 exercises that it automatically detects, from running to cycling, swimming. So it would track your exercise. It would recognize that you are performing like a run. It will track your run, it will track your steps, it will track your heartbeat. It gets all the data in, but GPS won't automatically turn on by itself. So if you're relying on the automatic activity detection mode of the Charge 4, just know that you won't get GPS data on that. The only way to get GPS data is to manually start an exercise that requires GPS. The other new feature for the Fitbit Charge 4 is called Active Zone Minutes. Now, this isn't a new hardware feature. This doesn't require like a different kind of sensor to have, but the Charge 4 is the first device from Fitbit to feature it. Active Zone Minutes is basically a new way for Fitbit to provide you metrics for how intense your workout is. Now, before the Charge 4, all the other Fitbit devices calculated based on just called active minutes. Now it's called Active Zone Minutes, and all these are basically criteria based on the WHO's, World Health Organization's sort of recommendation of daily or weekly physical activity that somebody should have, instead of the arbitrary number of, say, 10,000 steps a day. Because somebody who walks 10,000 steps a day is completely different from somebody who runs 10,000 steps a day. It's just an algorithm. It's like a gamification of your workout. So you have a different heart rate zones for the Charge 4, fat burn zone, cardio zone, and peak intensity. So it's based on how high your heart rate goes, again based on how intense your activity is. If you're just going to do an aerobic activity like yoga or brisk walking, you're probably going to be in the fat burn zone, and you get 1 active zone minute per minute of activity. If you're going to go into the cardio and peak intensity, let's say you're doing a HIIT kind of training, or you're sprinting and you get your heart rate really high, the Charge 4 is going to award you with 2 active zone minutes per minute of activity. And I think that is a great way for fitness companies to sort of be more responsible in getting this message across, that different kind of activities will yield different results, and there must be a better way to measure how intense your activity is, or how much your workout has actually been useful to you. So the combination of GPS and Active Zone Minutes, when you're out for a run, you get like this cool sort of heat map or intensity map of your run, which even tells you like, oh, which segment of this run that you were in, what zone, what heart rate zone, and how well you were doing. It's pretty cool. There are a lot of stuff that you can see, and a lot of tiny little details and in-depth details of your workouts that you can check out once it's synced to the app on your phone. It also works on indoor sort of activities. If you're in the gym, if you're doing weight training or HIIT kind of exercises, as long as you're pushing yourself, you're going to see this new Active Zone Minutes metric being used. The Fitbit Charge 4 is Fitbit's most advanced fitness tracking band out in the market today. With the inclusion of GPS, it is actually a huge feature that you can't really find in fitness bands almost anywhere else. But, and here comes a very big but. So the Fitbit Charge 4 has built-in GPS, has NFC, Fitbit Pay as a standard, and Spotify controls. Yes, it has a Spotify app built in that can control your Spotify. It's also a new feature with the Charge 4, which I completely glossed over, and here's why. Now, with these three features, you'd think that you can now really just leave your phone at home. When you go out for a run, after your run, you can maybe go buy groceries with Fitbit Pay, or pay for a meal, and you can listen to music. You have Spotify controls, right? Wrong. You still need your phone with you, because the Spotify controls are basically that. They're just controls. You actually need to link with your phone, which runs Spotify, and all you're doing is controlling it. The Charge 4 also doesn't connect to an external Bluetooth headphones. So again, you're actually playing Spotify from your phone. You actually need headphones which are linked to your phone. So you do still need to bring your phone out with you. With Fitbit Pay, any device that actually has NFC payments or contactless payments is a great addition. Don't get me wrong, but Fitbit Pay has been around in Singapore for a couple of years now, and support hasn't really been that great. I mean, you really only have two banks that are supported, UOB and OCBC, up until today. The good thing is Fitbit actually has partnered with Revolut, so if your bank's not supported, if your cards are not supported, if you have a Revolut account, you can just link Revolut to Fitbit Pay and you become sort of like bank agnostic. Since you still have to bring your phone out, you can use your phone to pay, you can use your phone to listen to music, and it really diminishes the inclusion of GPS, because then if I still need to bring my phone out, right, then that feature is great, but it's not necessary. What do you think about it? I mean, you can always give me comments. Today, this is the most advanced fitness tracking band that Fitbit has to offer. It is a premium device that has features almost no other fitness bands can match up to. So in that regard, it's at the top of the hill, right? So if you need a fitness band in band form, right, for $248, it's actually a very good deal. Why would you need a fitness band, as let's say opposed to a smartwatch? Is some people still like to wear traditional analog watches, but you want like tracking options, so you go for a band rather than go for a smartwatch. Then you look silly with two watches. If that's not the case, then honestly I would much rather wait for the Versa 3 to come out, because that the Versa 3 is going to have the features of the Charge 4. Versa 2 was out last year and it's already May, so we're only a couple of more months before we're probably going to see the Versa 3, and it's not going to make any sense if Fitbit launches the next version of their flagship smartwatch, the Versa series, without built-in GPS. And the Versa as a smartwatch has built-in memory. It has all those things that would actually make it useful as a completely independent device that you can bring out without your phone. Now, if you can't wait for the Versa 3 to be out and you need something that has all the features of the Charge 4 and more, everything that I talked about, there actually is a device you can buy right now that does that. But Zach, what is it? Well, you're just gonna have to wait for the next video.